Hi, this is Chandra Free, and I am the creator of The God Machine. My project is The God Machine Volume 1 Revision. It is on Kickstarter. You can find us at thegodmachine.org, and you're watching Catch the Craze.
What's up, crazies? Kickstarter fans, indie comic fans, I got something for you. I have indie creators in the blue room. They're ready to talk to you about their Kickstarters. They either launched it or gonna launch. So if you really love indie comics and you want to support the little guy and see them win, well, here's an opportunity to prove it. Put your money where your mouth is. Check this out. I'm done talking. Now it's time for the indies. Let's start it up. Start it up, y'all. Start it up, y'all. Start it up, start it up, start it up, y'all. What's up, George? Who do we have on today?
What's up, Sam? We have Chandra Free on the show today. She's got a Kickstarter that ends in about 5 days. It's called God Machine, so you guys got to check that out because it looks fire.
Yes, this girl's on fire. Let's get it. All right, so we're back. Magic.
Oh,
was it? Could this be magic? So what's going on, George? So we have a guest on. This is Kickstarter show. What's going on today?
Kickstarter show for Chandra Free. She's going to be on the show talking about her Kickstarter, which ends in a few days, April 7th. So you guys definitely want to help her out, get to her goal. She's about, I think the last I checked, she was about $6,000 away. So if you can get her there, that'll be freaking awesome. She's going to be on the show. I pledged. I want that book. It's a hardcover, really cool looking book. So let's get it. But before we even get to her, we should talk a little bit about what we got going on at the end of the month.
What do we got going on at the end of the month?
We have our Kickstarter, which launches April 29th.
Yes.
So for everybody watching and listening to the show, please go to our launch page, which you will find the links on crazycomics.com.
Yes.
Get your meds with a Z.com. You'll find it on our social networks. It'll be on Catch the Craze, Medina Whip. It'll be on the official IG of the Crazies. That's also on Instagram. So we're all over the place. But yeah, it's April 29th, launch day. We're going to be live that day too. So check out the show on that day.
Check out the show, Catch the Crazies number 3. Number 3, this is our third campaign. We had 2 successful campaigns for issues number 1 and 2. This is the third one. And our goal is really to exceed 100 and get to 100 backers.
That's right.
And so our landing page is in the summary below. Just go over there. We pop off on the 29th. Yeah, here's a little promo while we're talking about it. That's a little promo for Catch the Crazies issue number 3. So excited. And while we're at it, for those watching, for those of you who backed Forbidden on Indiegogo, we're down to the last 6 pages to be colored. Yes. And so we're hoping to have all the pages finalized by next Friday and to have everything shipped out to the printers by Monday. And for those of you who are receiving T-shirts, they're already been ordered and on their way to you.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, so make sure that you look out for that. And that's great. And 6 pages because of the stretch goal.
Yes, those 4 pages that stretch goal added some additional pages. So I had to, pick up the phone and go, ba-da-da-ding, and make sure the colors got those pages to start working on.
Yeah. So we're gonna have that coming to you any day within next month. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's something to look forward to. And as soon as you're getting your Forbidden book, we kick off with the Crazy. So yeah, we've been busy. We've been busy producing not just content for the show, but also on the creative front as far as the publishing front, which we're doing now on Kickstarter. But we're looking to get picked up, not just to do it, like to self-publish, but to actually get some of this stuff out there via, a publisher.
Just want to create.
So,
I want a publisher to handle the rest. Just want to do what we do best, is just create content and have fun at it. But to have to take on the responsibility of self-publishing, I'm not ready for that right now.
Yeah. And big shout out to everybody who joined us on Wednesday, the show that we recorded live for, letting everybody know that we are going to be launching the Kickstarter was a success. You guys have really, really helped us out. We have a few people that joined and are following the launch page right now. So thank you guys very much. Yeah. Remember, that show re-airs today. It is on the show. Well, it's on the channel anyway. Yeah. So check it out. If you missed it on Wednesday, check out the show. It was fun. We had a good time. A lot of good feedback, man. A lot of good feedback. It's always good because it spurs like just creative thoughts in our minds. Yeah. Sam, just to let everybody know some of the behind the scenes stuff. Sam sent me a cover that he did for the Kickstarter, which we will be announcing on the 29th. So you want to stay tuned for that. And that came from just the conversation we were having with everybody on the show. So that's going to be fun and awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be dope. Yeah. And again, thank you for the ideas. Thank you for participating. And, congratulations again to John and Tommy for winning the pinup and the sketch card.
That's right. That's right. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
So that's dope, man. That's dope. So the Kickstarter launches on the 29th. Make sure you're there for it. It's limited edition covers that you will never be able to get after they run out because we're not reprinting them.
Yeah, they're only going to be available for the campaign, baby.
That's it. And they're numbered. So they're numbered. They're 1, 2, 3, 4.
Come on, baby, sing it, love me 5, 6, 7 times.
All right, Gloria.
You said 1, 2, 3, 4.
It just sparks music into Sam's head.
That's
awesome. It's freaking awesome. But yeah, so what else is going on in the next few weeks besides that? Oh, let's not forget that at the end of May, Memorial Day weekend, we will be hosting a panel at PowCon.
Yes.
POW Comic Con in Wayne, New Jersey.
Yeah, there it is.
Have us on the panel.
We are the panel.
We are the panel.
Baby.
Yeah, we are the panel.
Yes.
We will be talking podcasting.
Yes, how to start up a podcast, and we're gonna do it in like from basic podcasting to actually branding and expanding your reach. And so we're gonna talk about equipment and tools and software and all that other stuff. So, but before we even go into those topics, we're gonna ask the audience that the day of, what are they interested in finding out as well. So while we're working on our presentation for the podcasting panel, a lot of it will be centered on what the audience wants to hear as well. So, and we're potentially going to live stream as long as we have Wi-Fi and everything's good. We'll be live streaming. So if you're not able to attend PowCon, you'll be able to see us and participate with us online. I will be answering questions as well in the chat. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be dope.
Yeah, no, that's going to be great. That's going to be great. Yeah, so a little bit more about our guest that's coming up, just so you guys know. The name of the book that she currently is promoting on Kickstarter is The God Machine, which is a book that she released back in 2010. She first published it back in 2010. So this is, it's coming back out, and it's coming back out under her own publishing company. So we'll talk to her a little bit about that. But the artwork looks amazing, man. It's now I wonder if it's like, she says painted, but I wonder if it's hand painted or if it's digitally painted.
Yeah, it has a whimsical Tim Burton feel to it.
For sure.
It's I like the look of it. Reminds me of like A Nightmare Before Christmas type style. It looks really cool.
Yeah. And Chandra's she's done comic book work for Jim Henson's Fraggle Rock. John
That's awesome.
Carpenter's Tales for a Halloween Night.
That is awesome because I'm a big Jim Henson fan, so that's awesome.
Yeah, she's also she's done illustration work for the likes of Sci-Fi. So, you know, she's a pro. She knows what she's doing, and I'm telling you, I saw this on Kickstarter. It just came up. I don't even know how I saw it, and I was like, whoa, I like that. And she's got this. It's a trade paper. Well, it's not a trade paperback. It's a graphic novel. But it's a hardcover. So it's a hardcover book, and it's beautiful, man.
Yeah, I mean, even you can see the amount of work that was put into putting that Kickstarter page together, and thinking of all the incentives and the rewards. I mean, there's just a lot of content here.
Yeah.
You know, she has 241 backers.
That's right.
You know, so if any of the backers are watching, hey, spread the love, send the links out to your friends, because it's about maybe a little over 900, maybe 900 a day.
Yeah.
That in order to make this campaign.
Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, it can be done. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
There's so many people on Instagram. It can get done, though.
Yeah, this is gonna be a push.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's crazy, bruh. It's crazy.
Yep.
So what else is going on?
Let's see. What else we have going on? We have.
You said you watched Invincible, so what did you think of it?
I was torn between. I should love it. I should love this show because I love the comic. The comic, that was my joint. But it's different than the comic. I think that they changed a few things. They brought in a few things a little sooner than what the comic book did, which changed the pacing a little bit of the story, and it didn't work for me. It didn't. The animation is great, fantastic animation, but the story, the way I remember it, reading it on the comics, is different, and it just kind of like, ugh.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think the newbies who never read it are gonna enjoy it. It's almost similar to the Da Vinci Code. When you read the book, the movie just didn't do it justice.
Yeah.
And I didn't believe that Tom Hanks was the right character to play that bro. And but I just felt with this Invincible, the animated series, is that they rushed everything. Everything was just moving too fast, and they were throwing in as many characters and as many epic scenes as possible. That doesn't give you time to build a relationship with the characters. It doesn't give you time to decide how you feel about each character.
Right.
You know, there's no emotional connection. It's just a show. And so that's what I think. That's the way they failed. You know, you don't feel like you don't see people going crazy online about it. You know, like they're going about WandaVision, and you know,
right. There is no buzz,
and like the Avengers,
or even Robert Kirkman's other
The Walking Dead,
The Walking Dead automatically boom. But it was character driven, those shows. Like you really, and even the book. I remember reading The Walking Dead, the comic. The book makes you care about those characters right off the bat. Yeah. Where you know. And I think the show did the same thing. I think they followed the show pretty close to the comic. I'm not sure. I never watched the show, to be honest.
Well, The Walking Dead was paced well. The Walking Dead left you with a lot of questions, made you curious, gave you anxiety. There was a lot of emotion. And then you fell in love with specific characters, and you're rooting for those characters.
Yeah.
With the animation for Invincible, they're not giving you any time to do any of that stuff.
Yeah, dude, I don't understand. Like we were talking earlier, like there's that scene with the army that keeps coming to Earth, and they keep figuring out how not to die. Right. But it's like they do it like I'm like, is this a joke? Like it just became kind of comical. Yeah. Versus, you know, oh shoot, what's going on? Yeah. Like what the hell's it? Just became like I was laughing at it. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like what's going on here? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that didn't work. I don't know. I think they were going, and the ending of the first episode is kind of I guess you could say it's epic, but it's also gruesome, and I feel like they were going for that gratuitous violence almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They wanted the shock factor.
Oh, the shock. Yeah, they were going for that shock factor. And to me, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, cool. I love the way they animated it, but
yeah, I mean, the look of the cartoon looks just like the book.
Yes.
So that I felt that they nailed, but I think where they failed is that they just rushed everything.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to pack in so much because in the event that he doesn't get a second season.
That's what I was thinking too. Like,
you know what I
maybe
mean?
we don't get a second season. Let's make sure we get everything in there.
Everything in there, and I think I would have preferred pace yourself, do what you do best, Robert, and tell the story the way you tell it, and don't make any adjustments because of pressure or whatever it is.
Yeah, or concessions. Don't concede to and I don't know if that's what happened.
No, we're speculating.
That just seemed like it happened that way, because I'm telling you, the book, and for anybody who hasn't picked up that book, you should definitely pick up they come in graphic novels now. They just have like a bunch of, because the series is over. But those books, well, as far as writing goes and character development for a comic book story about a superhero that's been done like crazy.
Yeah.
When they came out, this was something that I had never read before. Before The Boys, before all that other stuff, there was Invincible, and that was the beauty of that book. But for some reason, the animated series is not doing the same thing for me personally.
Yeah. Yeah. It was interesting. Yeah, I watched all three. I think the next one comes out tomorrow? Oh, Friday?
Yeah, well, today.
Right, yeah, today. So I watched all three, and I think it's 7 episodes or 6 or 7 episodes per season.
Oh yeah, it's not that many, right?
Yeah, no, because they're doing like they did with The Boys. I guess The Boys was like 7 episodes a season.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see what happens at the end of this run, and if they get picked up.
Let's see.
So Chandra's in the waiting room, so let's get her in here. And let's get this popping. Let me change this guest. There she goes. Oh, love that background. Hello there.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
It's nice to match the face with the texting that we were doing this morning. How you doing?
Nice. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Not bad. Welcome. Thank you for being on the show. Welcome, everybody. This is Chandra Free. She's got a book on Kickstarter called God Machine right now that is going to go through April 7th. So welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on. We want to talk about this book. I love the artwork. It looks great. We're talking about it with Sam. This is Sam, by the way. I don't know if you've been formally introduced. But yeah, so Chandra, first of all, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Chandra? No, I'm not.
Oh, is it Chandra?
Chandra. Like Jackie Chan.
Oh,
there you go.
I'm over here Frenching it up like Chicago and like, and it's just it's just Chandra. All right, cool.
Chandra.
Chandra.
I got it. You only tell me once.
That's it. I'm not saying it anymore. I'm calling you Free. Free.
I mean, that's a good one too. You can call me Chan.
There you go. There you go.
There you go. We're all friends here.
That's right.
That's right.
And is it George or Jorge?
George is
okay.
Yeah, I call him Jorge.
He doesn't. He's such a liar. I call him jerk sometimes. You know what I mean? but Chan, so tell us, for everybody who doesn't know who Chandra Free is, tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll start from there.
Okay, well, I'm Chandra Free. You can all call me Chan or Spooky Chan or whatever you want to call me. Just make it with nice. Call me nice. Anyways, I'm a arter. I'm an arter.
That's awesome.
I'm doing good already. I didn't have that much to drink tonight either. I'm an artist, writer, creator, best known for my work, The God Machine. I've worked with companies such as Archaea, Jim Henson, Sci-Fi Channel, and a bunch of other people, including John Carpenter's wife's company, Miss Sandy King's company, Storm King Productions. I did a book with them called John Carpenter's Tales for a Halloween Night, Volume 5. And yeah, I've done Fraggle Rock. I've done like stuff for an anthology called Graphic Canon. And yeah, I've done a lot in the industry. I've worn many hats.
Yeah, no, when the Fraggle Rock part came up, you should have seen Sam jump out of his seat. He's a huge fan of Fraggle Rock. Yeah. Like that's
just Jim Henson as a whole.
That's true too.
You know, I love Jim Henson. Like that's one of those big time inspirations from like being a little kid. I mean, who didn't have Sesame Street, right?
Right.
And then there's like the Muppets, and then there's Fraggle Rock. There's all sorts of stuff. You know, it's a huge catalog of things. And I was brought in to be a part of that anthology series, and I was paired with a writer, I think Charles Burns. I could totally be messing that up because I'm old. I don't remember shit anymore. Can I curse? Is that okay?
You're fine. You're fine. It's a mature audience.
Do it.
But oh wow, I feel bad. I don't remember my writer's name. That's pretty bad. I'm old. I'm telling you. But it was really, it was a wonderful thing to be brought on to that project. And like I told my mom this, right? I'm like, Mom, I'm going to be on Fraggle Rock. And she's like, but you do that dark stuff. Mom.
You do that dark stuff.
You do that dark stuff. And like I told her, like, Mom, didn't I watch Fraggle Rock? She's like, oh yeah, we watched that together when you were a kid. I'm like, yeah, see? And she's like, well, why don't you do more children's things? Mom, stop this.
I do that dark stuff, Mom.
That's it.
I do that dark stuff, Mom.
Oh, that's awesome. So let's go back a little bit as far as, because your art style is ridiculous. I love it. I'm telling you right now. It's funny because just quick background. I don't know how I came upon your book on Kickstarter. I'm a Kickstarter fanatic now, so I'm constantly on there. And I saw your book. I love the logo, and I know you guys revamped that logo, but I do love the logo. It caught me right off the bat, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? And then I saw that it was a hardcover book, right? Am I correct in saying that? Okay. So I was like, okay, yeah, I gotta have that. Boom, clicked it. And I didn't think anything of it. Then my friend Jonathan was on Facebook, and he was like, oh, this is awesome. And I was like, dude, I pledged to that already. So it came up, but what struck me, and he had a good point, it's very Tim Burton-ish. So just what was your influence in your artwork? Has it always been like this, or did it evolve to this? And how did you get started in art?
So, okay, my mother, and I'm always going to go back to my mother for some reason tonight, which, by the way, I tried to tell her about Kickstarter and like, hey, you should pledge. She's like, is it going to steal my money?
Yes, I know.
Mom. And then, she had a meltdown because she couldn't figure it out. So Mom's not pledging to the campaign.
He's a character.
Anyways, my mother used to say this, or still says it, I could draw before I could walk. So she would give me the tools that I would need to go on this journey. Awesome. Like throughout my entire life, it was always about art, always drawing, always figuring out things, and like drawing like from Disney to Warner Brothers to, all sorts of stuff like that. Yeah. Like I was just enamored with it. It's like it's always been a part of my world, and the style that I have now is accumulation of all of the sums of my background, from like that Disney background, that anime, that like Jonan Vasquez kind of like influence, like and then fine art from like Muka and Egon Schill and people like that. Like this, just like it's a whole combination of things. Also, like the cartoon Gargoyles had a lot of influence on me. Okay. Batman the Animated Series. Yeah, I see. I'm dating myself a little bit.
Everything you're saying works for me. All of my favorites, but yeah.
But it's like it's all there. It's all like what I've built myself up to be, and where I've come to be, like this style. I love elongating my figures. I love it. Playing with expressive colors. Like that's my jam. That's where I'm at, and I love expressions, and I love like darkness and cute too. Sometimes I have an element of cute too. I'm all over the place, but it's all there, you know.
Yeah. Did you have any formal training? Did you?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I had art classes. So I was in the 3rd grade. This is kind of great. I beat out the 5th and 4th graders for a scholarship to get special like art classes on the side.
Okay.
So I'm a little proud of that. I beat out the 4th and 5th graders.
This little 3rd grader came around and just beat up the 5th and 6th graders. I love it.
That's right.
That's great.
So I had that, and then I did go to school for fine art, though I dropped out. I was close to finishing though, but there bureaucracy and bullshit. Like, I was 6 classes away from getting my 4-year degree.
Wow.
Yeah. But some bullshit happened. I'm like, well, fuck this shit. I took what I learned from college and I applied it to where, you know, what I was doing. On my break from college, I like started like giving like fan art to one of my favorite writers that I wanted to like work with, Serena Valentino. She did Gloom Cookie and Nightmares and Fairy Tales for SLG back in the 2000s. And she's like, I want to work with you. And it's like, oh, cool. Like, I didn't anticipate this at all, but yay. That fell through, but it got the attention of the creators of Sullen Gray. And they brought me on to do the coloring for their book. So I cut my teeth that way in the coloring aspect of comics.
Right.
And then while I was doing that, I was like shopping my book, The God Machine, around. And Archaea just like, hey, how are you? We'd love to publish you. Yeah. And which was really cool because it was the first time I'd ever like shopped my book out. And it was 2007. New York Comic Con. It was February. It was, New York in February is not a friendly thing. And I'm originally from Orlando, Florida. So I was not prepared.
No, were not prepared.
Ooh, but it was the first time I had ever seen snow, and it was the most glorious, wonderful thing, and it brought a tear to my eye. It surely did. And but the cool thing was I had interest from more than one publisher. Archaea was one of them. They're like, can you do it in color? Because I was actually pitching it as a black and white.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was Mark Smiley who eventually got me to color the book. And it makes a world of a difference. Like, that's where I shine. My colors are like my strong suit.
How long was the book, Chandra, if you don't mind me asking? How long, like, has it always been this length? Has it always been the graphic novel, or were you pitching a smaller book and then it just came to this?
I've pitched it as a series. So, I mean, it's going to be beyond volume 1. Okay. It's, the sad thing is we started and then it didn't go forward like it needed to, because of dealing with like publishers and like dealing with Archaea being like taken over by Boom and just like a bunch of different things factor into my journey with the God Machine in my later life. So it was like 2010 happens, the graphic novel is like finally out. And they didn't even bother to tell me, by the way. It took my friend who's like, hey, I see your book on the shelf. I'm like, no, I can't be.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is nuts. She's so
wow. So, wait, so what, was it like in limbo for a couple of years? Is that what happened?
So, okay, there's a little bit of a story about Archaea itself, because in 2007, I'm signed on with old Archaea. And Archaea goes through some changes. They have to get a new owner. And this is before Boom. They got a person named PJ Bickett to own the company, and they tossed out all our old contracts and they gave us new ones. And then we had to renegotiate, and then we had to figure out some other things. And then it gets to 2010 and we finally have a book out. So it's complicated.
Right. Yeah, I would say. Right. Jeez. And here you were, this bright-eyed girl. Hey, listen, I got a book. They picked me up. 3 years in limbo. Comes out. You didn't even know it's out. It's just out. Like, it's just on the shelf.
That's wild.
Insane. That is insane. That is insane. Yeah. But so you have the rights to the book. That's all yours. All of that stuff. Yeah. It never left. That's cool.
I mean, like, I got my rights back because we had an exclusive agreement with Archaea, and once I sold out of the first print run and met some other requirements, I got out of my contract.
Beautiful.
So, and you know, it's not a terrible thing to sell out of a book.
Right. Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, you're right.
Especially when it's your first baby out there and it's like sold out. So, you know.
Absolutely. So quick question for you, Chandra, because our show is geared towards, you know, it's Catch the Craze, but we talk a lot about the mistakes we made in self-publishing and all that other stuff. For the people who are watching, maybe the younger viewers who are trying to get into this business, how was that experience, or talk to me through the process of going from just having this book in black and white to going to an actual publisher and the publisher having that interest in you? How did that whole thing come about? Did you have lawyers? Like, for somebody who's never done this before, like, how did that work out for you? How did you go about that?
Okay, so like how I did it, and this is back in 2007. I don't know exactly if it works the same way. But what I did is I had a pitch package that I was going to show and give. That's another thing to do. Give to publishers that seemed really interested in the book. Yeah. So it had colored illustrations inside of it, you know, your character descriptions plus illustrations. And it had a solid like 8 pages of sequentials. Along with like the synopsis, my address, my phone number, like all this stuff that is relevant to somebody gaining contact with me. Right. I made it like a booklet. I went to Kinko's back in the day and I had this made for me, and I did like 6 of them because I think that I'm kind of broke at the time, so I could only do so much. I'm sure you can it's probably cheaper now, so it's, you know, not a big.
Well, everything's digital now, right? So you could probably just send them as a thing. But I like the physical copy though. That was
right. Well, here's the thing: like you can show them like a digital file on the floor of like a convention and like go through your PDF. And I've done this too for just like portfolio, kind of like, hey, hire me. But when it came to my comic, I wanted to give something to people. Yeah. I wanted them to remember me, and I wanted that right now, right there. Yes. And I think that's not a bad thing. Like, they might throw it away. You know, that it's always a possibility. But the thing is, if they have actual real interest in you, they'll have that in their hand, and they'll like look at it. They'll be like, that's that crazy redhead that I met at New York Comic Con in that black and white sweater. So, I mean, like, I've always made it a thing. Like, I found like the brightest like black and white striped sweater. I had long red hair, and I was just like, I was there to make an impression with every single editor that I found. Awesome. You know, wanted to stand out, and they, you know, those publishers loved what I was giving them, and they held on to that stuff, and they were just like, I think it really matters. And I think I remember hearing about like putting something in someone's hands so they can take it with them. Now, if the more advanced stages of like things is like you start networking with your friends, and they like recommend you to their publisher, or like they like, you start like figuring out things. Like, I had a connection to get me into like Storm King Productions. Like, my friend's like, here, meet Sandy King and go from there. And I showed her my portfolio, which was a digital portfolio, and she's like, I like what you're doing. Can you do it even darker? I'm like, yeah, of course. And you know, that's how I got that gig. Yeah. It's all about networking and figuring out things, and like having the right tools for what you want to get.
Right,
getting a job might be a little bit different, you know, prove to them that you can do the work. You want to show sequentials that tell a story, not necessarily just like looks pretty. It has to like be able, I mean, it has to look good, right?
Right, yeah, of course.
Show your best. Never tell them that it's your worst or you could have done better here or there. Never show them that you sweat.
Yeah, right.
Always project, even if you don't feel it. Right. Fake it until you make it.
That's right.
You know, just like, this is my best work. And if they have things to say about it, cool. Learn, listen, hear what they have to say. Build a better portfolio next time. Keep growing, learning. Just but never, ever tell them like, this is my best stuff. You know, skip to this. Show them everything you want them to see.
Awesome. No, that's great advice.
Outstanding. So you said something that's very important. You talked about putting your best foot forward. It's about the presentation. Where did that strategy come from? What were the influences that made you realize that setting the table, basically, that's what you're doing? It's that first impression is the lasting impression. Hopefully, where'd that come from?
Oh, geez, I don't know. Well, there's a couple of things, a couple of influences, where I knew that I wanted to present myself a certain way, even to this day, when I'm at the convention table, whenever that happens again, right? I have to look a certain way. I have to be a brand. I have to do this. And everything is about that presentation. And whether I don't know if school ever taught us that, because what does school teach you? But you hear things from people, and I might have learned a lot from my cousin, Lindsay Sebos, who is also a comic artist. Not so much anymore, but we grew up making comics together. So it was just, we were destined to do this. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly where I got it all from, but I know that at some point I saw my now friend Doc Hammer and the band Ladytron, they had such a distinct look. He had a distinct look, and I'm like, I want to have a distinct look. I want to be a brand. I want people to be like, this Chandra Free.
That's right.
Spot her from a million miles away. She doesn't blend in.
There you go. I can't stop looking at that background. That is beautifully done. Did you? I saw on your press kit that you sent us that it's beautifully painted. Is it hand painted or is it digitally painted?
Digitally painted.
That's beautiful.
Digitally painted. I mean, I have since I took fine art in college, I do have a painting background, so I bring in a lot of those same kind of techniques from painting the back of the canvas, your background is your thing that you build up your paints. And so I've always done that with a lot of my pieces. And it's my delightful partner, boyfriend is it's painted work. And it's well, it's digital painting. But I do paint, I love painting. So it's all the same to me in a lot of ways.
It's beautiful. It really is. It really is. I'm telling you, that's what caught my eye when I saw it. I was like, oh, this looks great. And I also love that even the word balloons are incorporated into the page, and it's not just a thing that sticks in. It's actually blended into the whole panel when you work. So that's also something. I'm telling you, this book is fire. This needs to come out, so we need to make this go.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, when was the first time you attended a comic book convention?
What was the first time I just attending?
Just going as a fan, a spectator. And how did you find out about it?
Okay, so my mom. Why everything's coming to my mom?
Mom is cool as F, man.
She is.
Right? Mom is there. She's so guys. So your mom.
So my mom, I think I'm in middle school at this point, and she takes me to a sci-fi convention.
Nice.
And Mr. William Shatner is there.
Oh.
And so I'm picking up some bootleg Sailor Moon tapes and like, all sorts of other stuff's going on. And then we find out that William Shatner is charging X amount of dollars for his signature. And it's like, well, he's not even our favorite captain. So
nice.
That was my first experience. And then my first real comic book convention was when I was like 17. I think it's 17. I'll go to MegaCon in Orlando, and it's the most overwhelming experience because I'm a little bit sensitive to light, and crowds are a big problem for me. So I got the biggest migraine, but man, I had a lot of fun. Like
I've heard that's a really good convention, the MegaCon.
I mean, I haven't been back since 2011, and I'm sorry to everybody, like all my family and friends in Orlando. Like, I haven't been back in a long time.
So that's a good point, because you mentioned that there was a break. It was published in 2010, and then there was a break. So what happened between that period?
Well, I did a bunch of other things. I also went to other conventions. I just didn't go back home. That's all.
Gotcha.
I've done so many conventions. At one point, me and my ex-boyfriend were doing like about 12 a year. So it was insane. But got to meet a lot of people. Made a lot of fans, made a lot of friends awesome. In that time period.
Nice.
And I was always working. I was always doing something, and I was promoting the God Machine and selling the last of the copies, and I was doing Fraggle Rock, and I was doing Graphic Canon, and then all sorts of other things too. So I mean, I was still there, I was still working and still being a part of the industry. Just never went back to MegaCon. I'm sorry, everybody. I promise I'll be back.
That's awesome.
Outstanding. So what is your vision for your property, for God Machine? What do you see it growing into? What's your goal?
So it's definitely it's my baby. I've lived with it in my head since like 1999. It's been a long time.
Well, before you even answer that, tell us, and I've been waiting for this because I'm getting this book. So what is God Machine about? Like, tell me what that is, and then answer, where you see it going. But tell me what it's about and where it came from.
Okay.
I want to know.
So it's about a character named Guy Salvador who's really going through it. Like, he's depressed. He's like, oh my God, what the hell's going on in my life? He just recently lost his girlfriend, and he's starting to see monsters and things. And he's like, what is real? What is not? Like, what's going on here? Then a mysterious man like comes to him in the graveyard, and it's like, hey, your girlfriend's still alive. She's floating in and out of dream worlds, and you're the only one who can go and save her. So it starts the seed of everything to come afterwards. Like, this is the first chapter, essentially. It's got gods, it's got monsters, teen angst, and humor. You wouldn't think so, but there's humor in this. It's a funny book, strangely enough. Like, people tell me, like, I wasn't expecting this to be funny. It's like, yeah.
That's awesome.
With the darkness, you need to have light.
Yep. Sure,
that's how I see things.
You have to. And so where do you see it going from?
So this is my baby. This is definitely a work that's an epic scope story. I foresee it being 13 graphic novels.
Wow.
So I've got a story to tell and a definite ending. And even a sequel if I'm that crazy at that age. Or at least a follow-up to make sense of the ending for everybody. Because one of my favorite animes is like Evangelion, and that shit don't make sense at the end.
Now I see.
Oh, go on.
No, I see that you've mentioned in your press release that you decided to independently produce this.
Are you still considering shopping it?
Yes, but I want to see if I can do it first. Mm-hmm. Like, this is like, it's a passion project. I kind of like people not telling me what to do with it, or like the strangeness of like somebody else handling your child. But you know, it's a struggle, right? Like self-publishing or having your own publisher, who is essentially you, publishing your book, because you have to do all the heavy lifting that a publisher typically does, which is where you're going to store the books, how are you going to get the money, how are you going to distribute the books, how are you going to pay X, Y, and Z and the taxes and gain this to here and blah, 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 all that stuff. I want to see if I can handle that. And I want to see if I can like also foster other people's children in the future. Like that's the big goal. Like trying to get like people who are like not the, no offense to anybody, but not the typical cis white male. Like, I want marginalized creators. I want people who are like, you know, weird. Sorry, my alarm. Oh. I want weird people. I want unusual people. I want like people that have weird visions and like dark visions and cool styles and stuff like that. And I just don't want it to be like from the same typical people that we always see, you know? I want like passion projects too. And I don't want to like publish people that are already published either. I don't necessarily want that. I want like fresh, young, new people, not always young, but you know what I mean? Like people that haven't had the chance, who can't seem to find the right place in the industry. And like, that's who I want to find. That's but awesome. I have to figure out if it's right for me. Right. Mm-hmm. If this is the right way, the right path, because, you know, publishing's hard and it's not for the faint of heart. It's really like you have to, I mean, already comics is not for the faint of heart, right? Right. Like if you're into comics and you're making comics, you're already crazy already. So now put that into the business aspect and you're even crazier. Right. So,
it's a whole different animal. Like people forget, it's you know, putting your business hat on and then putting your creative hat on. There are two different hats that you kind of somehow have to blend and make it work.
That's right.
And make it work. Yeah. No, it's true.
It's tricky, and I mean, like that's why, you know, Kickstarter is a great place to really like figure out a lot of this stuff, and like you're not taking out a loan to print your book. You're not taking out a loan or this and that, you know, like you're actually getting like from a market that's actually interested in your product already, and you're going to get that into their hands immediately. And then it's just the tricky part is like getting the campaign ready and then like having the campaign happen. Like it's the trickiest stuff. You know, this is my second campaign that I've done with Machina Corps, and it's a lot bigger in scope than our first book that we did, which was just a small, like, I'll say floppy for lack of better terminology. We did a nice, beautiful little floppy. I think it was like 36 pages. And it was me and Stephen Emon's artwork to promote our first offering to the world from Machina Corps, and that did really well. But it's like, well, now let's actually do something. Let's do something, and let's really do it. And doing a big hardbound graphic novel, 180 pages. Yeah.
Sold. I was sold. I'm telling you, Sam, I was sold. 180. I was like, yep, got me. Bang. So Machina Corps, Chandra, is your imprint, right? That's who you're.
It's my publisher.
Yes.
Yeah. It's me and Steve Emon's publishing entity that we created.
Sweet.
Our logo is from Ryan Hughes, I think his name is. I hope I remembered that. That was recent. This is so funny. Like I was telling Steve, like, you know, I'd really like to get something that's close to the Archaea logo, because I really dug that. We're looking from person to person and person and person. He just randomly found Ryan. And lo and behold, he was the person who designed the Archaea logo.
Wow.
Like the redesign of it. I'm like, you're kidding me.
Wow, that is kind of awesome. What a story.
It's exactly what I wished for. So, but speaking of logos,
Yes.
that God Machine logo that I have is from Phil Balzman, who is an Eisner nominated, Eisner winning, I think, as well, and Harvey nominated, Harvey winning. I don't know. He's won awards. He's been nominated. It's great. But like, I saw his work for the reprint of some manga, like Magic Knight Rayearth, which was one of these books I really loved as a younger person. Yeah. And I just thought, like, wow, the treatment of this logo is just so good. And it's like, it captures what the Japanese logo was doing, and it just like made it like, it was just solid stuff. And the thing is, like, Phil is a friend of my friend Paigey. Paigey, oh shit, what's her last name? Paigey, I'm sorry. I love her. She's got like, she's great illustrator herself, great artist. And why am I blank? I want to say Humphrey, but I don't think that's right. I'm not sure. So somehow find Paigey through going through Phil Balzman. Maybe retroactively, if people are listening to this, you have to see Paigey's work. So, but got in contact with Phil, and like the rest is just like, you know, he got what I was doing, and he did it in such a different way, because like the original logo was like, the word God was a little bit more like Celtic. Like font, and then the word machine was machine, but then he took it and turned it around, had like this Gothic font for the and for machine, but made the word God more like a machine, and put
the gears in the center of the O matches the fact that it's the machine. It's really well. It's a beautiful logo. It really is.
Oh my god, it really makes a world of a difference. It puts a professional face on things, and like my old logo, it was okay.
well, just so you were saying about Phil, he is an Eisner and an Harvey Award winner for logo and book designs of Attack on Titan, Akira 35th Anniversary, Magic Knight, All-Star Superman, Witch Hat Atelier. So he's done some stuff. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
Everything I've seen from him is like, that's spot on. He gets it, you know.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. Oh man. So you have, and now, so the book originally came out in 2010. You're re-releasing it. I know you added about 20 more pages. So if I bought it in 2010 and I wanted to get it now, am I getting a completely different book, or what are some of the differences that you're getting between the two books?
So here's the thing. Like, I wanted to re-letter the book when I decided to reprint this. And like, okay, so I've got Taylor Esposito, who's also done so many things. I can't even begin to tell you all the things he's done. He is an industry professional. And so I'm like, all right, I need a script to give him. And I look at my hard drives, and I'm like, oh no, it's been a while. I have gone through many different hard drives, different computers. So, okay. So I decided, like, all right, I'll have to transcribe the book from the old, like, from this guy right here. Ooh, hold on.
There it is.
And so I'm transcribing it, and I'm like, I could do this better. This could be better. This could be worded better. This is trash. This is treasure, you know, like, you know, it's like I'm looking at things and I'm thinking with my older brain, I can refine this. I can make this better. Like, and some of the stuff's kind of like the shock humor of the 2000s. And it's like, oh, you know, we don't have to say some of these words anymore. Like, we can be a little bit more sophisticated, even though I'm still gonna leave the Mr. Insane sock puppet telling you to kill yourself, but it's really tongue in cheek. But the thing is, like, he's a nasty creature. It's just a television show. But not to be offensive to anyone, I'll say one of the words that I'm taking out is the word retarded. I'm taking that out. I'm throwing it out like as if it didn't even exist. Like, yeah, I don't care if the sock puppet's evil or anything. I don't want to see that word. I don't want to speak it. You know, I don't want that there.
Gotcha.
So it's stuff like that. And also like improving on characterizations and just like fine tuning like the language and other things like that. And then extending scenes and like coming up with more lore, and there's even new characters that's in this. Like, it's going to be a new experience. If you're an OG reader, you're going to be like, okay, I gotta have this because this is new text, new lettering, new scenes, more pages. I'm getting rid of some of the back content that was in there, and I'm putting in new stuff. Like, it's going to be stacked with art. Like, where there's like breaks in the pages, there's going to be art. Nice. We're going to have a new Ford. I haven't quite solidified that just yet because I want to give the person who's going to do the Ford the actual new text, but we need to make the money to make the book, to give the tailor so he can re-letter the book. So, you know, so I haven't really nailed down my new Ford, but our old Ford is also showing up from Venture Brothers' own Doc Hammer. He's a co-creator of Venture Brothers, also a voice actor on the show. He wrote the original Ford for the original book. I thought, you know what? Might as well bring it back because it's so good.
I love that you've broken the word revision into and then the vision is larger. I love that's really the way you even did that. That was very creative, very well done. Yeah, Chan, this looks good. I think we're gonna make it, and I say we because I'm invested now. I mean, I'm all in. So we have to do this. But so tell everybody where they can find it, where they can reach you if they have any questions or anything like that. Anything you want to tell the audience about where to find you?
Yeah, sure. To get to the Kickstarter, just go to thegodmachine.org and it will direct you right to the Kickstarter page. Don't have to worry about like all our messy URL shit, just thegodmachine.org. If you want to ask me questions on Kickstarter, through the system, through Machina Corpse. Like, I'm there. That's me. Steve isn't really answering anything. It's just me, like, behind the wheel at the moment. If you want to get in touch with me in other ways, like, I'm at Spooky Chan on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I'm there. I just I don't prefer it. So, or drop me a line at chandrafree@gmail.com. You can contact me that way. And if you want to look at my other artwork, go to spookychan.com. See, I'm a brand.
Oh, that's you're doing it all. I love it. Yeah.
But go there, check out my artwork. There's even at Machina Corpse on Twitter and Instagram, and The God Machine at Instagram and Twitter as well. And there's also some Facebook pages that I should update more.
Oops.
Facebook is not my friend, but it is. I know it's really it's a weird parasitic relationship.
It's so crazy. It's actually where we kind of connected.
Yeah,
but I don't go on it as much as I used to. I used to go on it all the time. I don't go on it as much. I'm more of an Instagram person.
Yeah.
But it's funny that's exactly where we connected. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I was looking at your
is spookychan.com. Amazing art. I'm looking at your miscellaneous.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Beautiful.
It's insane.
Beautiful
It is
stuff.
totally insane, Chen. You are amazing. I definitely want to have you. I know this is specifically for your Kickstarter, but I would definitely love to have you back on the show just to talk to you more about, your endeavor in the self-publishing that you're doing and all of that other stuff. This will actually air tomorrow. This is Thursday, everybody. Yes, it's Thursday. Tomorrow, Friday. It'll air Friday. We're not going to air it on Sunday. We're going to give that extra few days, and we're going to be pushing the heck out of this thing because I think you're going to make it. So we're gonna be good.
And hopefully tomorrow we might be posting our stretch goal.
Oh yeah! All right, there you go. That's it.
I wonder.
Uh-oh.
Should I say
Spoilers?
it now?
Spoilers?
What if we don't do it?
That's that thing, right? You put it out into the universe and then hope it happens. And
because if we do the stretch goal, it's kind of really cool what we're gonna do. It's another book. It might involve artwork. It might be an art book, but I'm not saying it's an art book, but it's an art book.
There you go.
Well, listen, this may entice people to tell other people to be like, hey, listen, we got to get to the stretch goal. So you need to pledge today so that we can get to this stretch goal.
That's
so
right.
If it's more artwork, I'm in.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if it's a stretch goal, like, and we meet our goal, it's going to be an add-on. So you just add that onto your existing pledge already. So let's hopefully we get our act together. I mean, Steve was working on the images for the stretch goal, so it's
there you go. Hey, listen, what you've done so far, it's nothing to just thumb your nose at. I mean, you guys have really done really well. I love the fact that you have over 200 people that believe in this project, and hopefully some of the old school fans that maybe forgot that this was still out there watch this and say, hey, wait a minute, I have that book, let me get the new one. So hopefully it works out that way as well, and you get more people watching. So thank you so much for coming on, Chen. We really appreciate you. Thank you for taking your time, and like I said, we're gonna have to have you back.
Yes. I'd be glad to come back.
Perfect.
Talk about anything.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So that was
awesome.
Chandra Free.
Chan.
Not Chandra.
Not Chandra. Over here, Chandra.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a piece that she did for Rick and Morty. It looks. I mean, her artwork is.
She's insane.
Fantastic, and I love. That's we want to definitely have her back on the show because I loved she hit on a lot of keywords that are all triggers for me. Branding, presentation. Yeah, so I was like, I really want, this is for her to promote the Kickstarter, but we want to have her on the show because those are all great things to talk about with our listeners as they're trying to navigate in this crazy world of independently produced product. And, she hit a lot of key points that I think people will benefit from.
Absolutely. I think that her mindset was that of she wanted to stand out in a sea of people, which is brilliant. Like her mind, the way she thought all of these things, her strategy was so well done that it got her picked up, obviously, by a publisher, which is what she wanted to do. Unfortunately, things happen within the industry that sometimes you can't control, but she was smart enough to get her rights back, and boom, she's back out there doing it all over again. So kudos to Chan. She's amazing. And I'm so happy that she was on the show. So guys, make sure you go to Kickstarter, support the God Machine, pledge to it. She's very close to reaching her goal. I think as of this recording, I think she's at about 76% to the goal. And, she's got a couple of she's got a stretch goal she's talking about. So definitely get on there. And the link will be below. So click it and go pledge.
Yeah, there you go. And again, if you want to sponsor an episode of Catch the Craze, it's as simple as reading this card on the screen right now. And, send us a 30-second spot for Catch the Craze. It's $10 for a 30-second promo. And plug whatever endeavor that you got going. You're going to DJ at a party. You got a comic book coming out. You have a campaign you want to promote ahead of time. You can do it on our show. And if you like this episode of Catch the Craze, please give us a thumbs up and let us know that you did like this show. Recommend it. And if you have any questions for Chandra, please leave it in the comments below. or reach out to her on her social platforms that she identified, and I will have a link below as well. So, and don't forget to hit up on our landing page. Catch the Crazies, April 29th is our launch date. Sign up now. And with that said, I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera.
I'm George the Dreamer Medina.
And we are out.